Hello YouTube and welcome to the comic book channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about some smaller keys and first appearances, just a few that I always pick up anytime I see one, in a collection or at a flea market or not really stuff you're going to find in a comic book shop for a fair price, but if you happen to stumble across these books I would suggest picking them up. So just a few words before we start the video. If this is your first time here, or if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. Really helps out the channel a lot, and I appreciate it, and it helps me know to publish new content because people are interested in it. Also, please leave a thumbs up if you can, and if you have any comments, they'd be greatly appreciated. Any feedback or any thing you agree or disagree with, or any books that you always pick up anytime you see them, would be great to know about. So I'll just go ahead and get us started. So first off, I have Uncanny X-Men number 266, and this came out in August of 1990, and while it's not the actual first appearance of Gambit, because that belongs to the Uncanny X-Men annual, sorry, the number is like not there. I think it's 14. It's either 14 or 17. I'm going to go with 14 for right now, and I could be wrong, and if I am, I apologize. Either way, this is what most people consider the first appearance of Gambit, and it's got Gambit on the cover there, and it's definitely the higher priced book. If you pick up the annual, I mean, you can usually find that like completed sales on eBay for like $10 or so. This one's going to cost you a little bit more, but this is a great book because it was in 1990, and it's an X-Men book, so there's plenty of copies of it to go around. This is sitting in every 90s kid collection because it is an X-Men book, so it's pretty easy to find, especially mixed in at like a garage sale or flea market. So I suggest if you see it, pick it up. Then next up, from 1978, when did this one come out? April in 1978, sorry. I have some notes there. Is Devil Dinosaur number 1. As you know, Devil Dinosaur is in a current series with a newer character named Moon Girl, and while it's not like the most popular book, and their first appearance is not like insanely expensive or hard to find or anything, there's a lot of development going on with that character right now. There's going to be like an animated, I believe, television show, but it could be a movie too, I don't know. Again, me with getting my facts straight before I make a video doesn't happen. But this is Devil Dinosaur's first appearance, and this is a cool, Jack Kirby creation, artwork, all that. I don't know for a fact that Jack Kirby wrote it, but I feel like he did. But again, I don't know for sure. Either way, I know, Jack Kirby definitely illustrated it, and that's obviously, some Jack Kirby artwork there. But this is a great book to pick up if you see it, somewhere for a few dollars, a 50-cent bin at a flea market, or somebody's got it at a garage sale or something. I believe there's plenty of copies of this to go around too. And I would think in 1978, most kids would have picked this up because it's a red Tyrannosaurus Rex that says Devil on the cover. So, and it's an awesome book, and the character is really cool. So, yeah, I always pick that one up when I see it, definitely. So next up is Avenging Spider-Man, number 9. Again, this is kind of the same as like the first one, where this isn't technically Carol Danvers' first appearance, or Captain Marvel's first appearance for that matter, but there's a lot of significance here, because it's the first Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel, I think. Either way, it's a pretty wacky book. It's got some, the story is basically that Carol and Peter are on this like little 2-seater plane, and Carol's obviously the pilot flying it, and they're trying to tell each other like deep secrets, and Peter's really nervous to tell her anything and doesn't feel comfortable about it and all that kind of stuff. But you know, some other craziness happens and stuff too. But this is a good one because there should be plenty of copies out there for you to grab. It went to a second print, but this the second print is black and white, and this is obviously the color, you know, version first print. But you should be able to find this in high grade, and up until just, you know, a little while ago, it was going for like nothing. Like, this was a really cheap book. Just wasn't really significant to anybody until recently. You know, you could definitely pick it up for, you know, $5, $10, $20 at the most, but now it's climbing way up there. And anytime I see a copy of this book, I buy it. I've hoarded quite a few copies of this book just because I felt like it had some potential, and now that I see that it really did. So I would definitely suggest grabbing this if you see it somewhere. Kind of like with New Mutants, and I should have picked up one of my New Mutants #1 and shown it in this video, but I've already made a video about that book. But that is also definitely one. I mean, I pick that up anytime I see it, you know, for under like $10, which is kind of high for it, but still, I just feel like one day it'll really be worth it. And most of them I picked up for 50 cents to $1, so I feel like it washes itself out either way. But that's a great big book to pick up too. Here's another one that I've picked up a few copies of, and that's Strange Tales 180. And that's just the first appearance of Gamora there. There's not like much else to say about the book that I really know of. Other than it is the first appearance of Gamora, who's now, you know, a big star in the Guardians of the Galaxy and the Avengers movies and stuff like that. But this one I've found quite a few times at like flea markets and garage sales and things, so I would definitely keep an eye out for that one. I don't know what it is about this book that makes it a book that I've found, you know, out at places like that quite a few times, but I definitely have. So definitely pick one of those up if you see it for cheap. And then last, here's a book that I'll pick up. It's got an insane number of printings, but I pick up any printing that I see, you know, based on the price, of course. But this isn't really a book you can pick up in a shop after the first printing, because the shop owners usually want way too much for it, and it's not really worth it. But the book I'm talking about is the one-shot Batman the Killing Joke, and this is the first print here. But yeah, as I said, I would pick up any print if you see it somewhere. Now it might be a little bit harder to find now because there was an animated movie that came out last year, I believe. And even though the movie didn't, maybe it was this year, I don't know. Even though the movie didn't do so well, it wasn't that well received. The book still really is. It's definitely like a classic, you know, Joker story. It tells the Joker's origin and how he came to be the Joker. It's written by Alan Moore. It has some really big key events in it. It's definitely something I would suggest picking up. And this is one, I've never seen one at a garage sale, but man, I've seen these at flea markets like a lot. And it's usually just one of those things that's mixed into like a dollar bin. And it's definitely worth it. I've seen probably 5 or 6 of these first prints in dollar bins and picked up every single one of them, you know, throughout the years. But I would definitely suggest picking that up. That's a classic story, and I think it'll always be something that, you know, people want, whether it's, you know, at $150 or $20. It's just something to hang on to. Obviously don't pay that price for it if you can help it, but if you see one for $1, $5, $10, you know, definitely pick it up. Same thing with the later printings. You know, if you see them in $1 or 50-cent bin, pick it up. It's worth it. And it's a really great story either way. So yeah, those are just some books I wanted to go over. Sorry I didn't go over the dates on all of them like I meant to. That's what my notes were for. So maybe I can do that really quick. So The Killing Joke was in July of 1988. The Strange Tales book was in June of 1975. The Avenging Spider-Man book was September 2012. Let's see, the Devil Dinosaur book, which I said when it was April of 78. And the Gambit book was August of 1990. So, so yeah, those are just some books I would definitely pick up anytime you see them. And obviously, you know, there's plenty more to add to that list. This is just what, you know, I kind of had laying around right in front of me that I thought, you know, these are some great books that are not, you know, everybody's talking about Avenging Spider-Man 9 right now, so I'm not going to say that like they're hidden gems or anything, but you know, with the exception of that and maybe the Uncanny X-Men 266, it's not like they're unknown books by any means, but I feel like it's really not books a lot of people are talking about. I'm not talking about seeking out to pick up, and again, I'm not telling you to go out and spend a lot of money on them, but definitely there are, you know, some like minor keys that would really be worth it, you know, if you are at a garage sale or a flea market. Anytime I'm, you know, near a flea market, I always go and check out, see if there's any comic books, just run through really quick. Actually, I have a local one that has like, you know, 2 comic book shops in it. And, you know, while yes, they know their stuff a little bit better than somebody who's just throwing some comic books that they found or whatever out for 50 cents, it's still always worth a look. And I have found a lot of stuff in flea markets. Garage sales, it's not that I found a lot, but the quality of what I found has definitely been worth it. And then of course you have your things like Craigslist and OfferUp and Let Go and stuff like that, where, you know, I check the comic book listings daily just to see what's in there. 9 times out of 10, it's somebody who wants more money than what it's worth, but you do have that one time out of 10 where it's, you know, somebody who just wants to get rid of a collection they have and they don't care too much about what it is or what the price is. So I definitely always check that stuff, and that's how I end up with a lot of the books that I end up with. But either way, I'm going to wrap this one up. I'd love to hear you guys' stories in the comments below. What books you pick up anytime you see them. What are some really important minor keys to you guys, and let me know what you found at garage sales and flea markets and Craigslist and OfferUp and Let Go and stuff like that, or if you know of any other places that I didn't name, because those are the places I always look, but maybe you guys know somewhere else to look too. Let me know. I really like to learn that stuff. I like to look different places. And yeah, it'd just be really cool to hear what you guys have picked up, what you guys have found and stuff like that. So anyways, that'll do it for tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.